Cathartic. Might be cathartic. Looking at all those plus degrees that Elijah and Father left.
I had watched the Iceman Inheritance. They got a little movie, a little trailer, and then they got where they interviewed him for about like an hour and 29 minutes where they interviewed the writer of Iceman Inheritance, Michael Bradley. I know you hit to that.
Right. I ain't never seen the interview. I never saw the interview before, but I know about the I know about the Iceman Inheritance.
Right, I'm ordering the book now, but I just listen. It ain't saying I just listened to it. They just put it on YouTube and posted a picture. Like it was a blog talk interview.
Oh, all right.
So, dude, basically what he was saying is, the only thing that made me mad about the whole conversation is that nobody mentioned the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Nobody mentioned the Yaqub story. Nobody mentioned none of this. Nobody correlated that. How many years that is to a God? You said 60. Okay, break that down. No, what's that? 6 years? Nobody did that. It was just like the same story he had explained was his Yaqub story. You feel me? I'm like, and did nobody say nothing about nothing? I'm like, that's puzzling.
I wonder why they did that.
I don't know though. It be puzzling me like, okay, you came with this book in what, 78 he said, I guess, and he revised it like, yo, what sparks you even think like that? You understand what I'm saying, Lord? Like, what motivated you to even do that? Or even come with that book? Because basically everything you were saying was the same thing that Elijah Muhammad said. I just didn't feel that. Like, hold on, man. Now y'all won't believe it because the Caucasian bear witness to it, so y'all believe it.
But that's what I said before. Right after Elijah passed away, that was 1975, so everybody else was gone. And then these so-called naysayers started coming up with this theory that everything in all of 120 wasn't correct, just pieces of it was right and exact. 1 to 40, they just discarded the 1 to 40. All the Yaqub stuff, they threw that to the side. Like if you go to the 1 to 10 student enrollment, they was like, oh, the second degree, don't use that. And anything that had anything to show and prove who is the devil in the physical plane, they was discarding all of that.
Right. But the thing that I'm saying, I ain't read the book, I got it on order, but from what I grasped and what I had took from the interview was nothing but what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches. He taught that the devil was grafted by Yaqub. They lost their minds in the Caucasian Mountains. It was a mutation. All the same thing, it's just different words, man. It kills me when people do that. Like, come on, man. Okay, you bear witness they was in the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, it was a mutation that happened. What happened? What kind of mutation? We all know the mutation. That's when they had to walk on all fours and they started taking the animals, the dog, jackal, whatever they do. That's a mutation. That's when they lost their mind. Like, I just don't get it, man. It'd be funny to me, like, boy, hey, our own people ain't even gonna get a brother his credit. Like, they just go keep overlooking him. It's cool, though.
Well,
gonna get the book and like the book.
The type of information that people like the Father and Elijah and all them put out, that kind of information scares a lot of people. So, long as they scared, they don't want to say it.
Right. But when the European says it, they all bear witness. Now they can talk about it. Now it's cool to talk about it. Like,
these motherfuckers.
Hey, yo, Lord, it's crazy. It's cool to talk about it now, huh?
Yeah, right.
It's cool to talk about it when the European wasn't with it, huh? But now he's with it, it's cool to talk about it.
That's how it be. Like, you ever hear them say something like, to the effect, when they doing research. And they'll be doing research and the research that they're doing is more like superficial research. Because I call it superficial research. The reason why I say that is because they're going to the library or the bookstore, or they're going online and they're picking up somebody else's essay, book, short story, whatever the case may be, whatever kind of material they're picking up. But they didn't do any research on it. They're using someone else's research to prove their point. That's not research. Research would be if I picked up J.A. Rogers' book and I go to the back where the bibliography is and all his proof and where he did his research at, and I go look at that research or go to the sites. You really don't even have to, nowadays you don't even have to go to the excavation sites. You could go to the museum because they done dug up everything. So you go to the museum, and you go to the museum and you look it up yourself. You know, that's research. Getting a book and putting it in your library and reading it and then taking that and saying, oh, this got to be gospel. That's why that other idiot who got online and said some crazy shit like, oh, Asiatic doesn't return itself back to the original man. Asiatic is part of the Chinese people. And then his man says, yeah, we looked that up on Wikipedia. And they couldn't understand why I wouldn't bear witness. They didn't go to the correct college or high school, and they don't know how to really do research, or they take things on face value. And he's going to tell me, oh, I don't take 120 on face value. But you took Wikipedia on face value? Come on, son, stop. You're killing me. You come out better taking Elijah on face value than you do taking the European on face value.
Right. I be trying to look. Hey, look. Yo, where I work at, in the circumference of where I work at, you know, I'm surrounded by mad Europeans. You know, I'm cool with them. You know, but I can't help it. It's 2012. I drop what I got to drop to the original, man. That being said, that'd be the Mexican, and it's a brother that worked with me. You know, he have Asian. You know, he have European, telling me about some hard things in his life. I was weak. Like, yo, my stepdaddy used to beat the shit out of me and call me and my sister slaves and shit. They used to lock us in little cages and shit. I'm like, yo, wow. Like, I ain't say nothing, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, this is some hell of a shit to be telling this motherfucker. He tell me what he say, now I'm grown, man. He's like, I'll be so confused. I'll be want to kill his ass, man. I'm like, yeah, ain't that your little sister? Yeah. I'm like, do you love your little sister? I'm like, yeah. I mean, he like, yeah. So I'm like, man, if you love your sister, you don't want to take nothing from your little sister, man. You know what I'm saying? That's deep, love. I'm like, you grown now. He's like, I'm confused. I don't know what to say to him. I'm like, what you mean? You grown. You can't harm you, man. What you tripping on? Like, you understand the process of this man? This man tell me, I'm glad you told me that, because that helped me to cope with years of my life. I looked at him like, okay. All right, whatever. I mean, because I just don't understand how some people don't think like that. You know, like, how they be thinking. And I told him, I said, look, I get knowledge yourself. I get married. I tell him who is who. And he can bear witness or not. But, you know, it's my duty to tell him. But it just be crazy, you know, like, I'm going to tell you about this lady, right? I ain't going to say no names. But, you know, I'll be building with her, you know, I'll be exchanging. She'll help me get some of my literature, you know.
Right.
But one thing I'll be finding out, like, she part of the nation, so I'm gonna say that much. But I find a lot of them in the Nation of Islam dumb, deaf, and blind.
They do what now?
I find a lot of them in the Nation of Islam to be dumb, deaf, and blind to a certain extent, not to the knowledge of themselves. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But to the greater knowledge of themselves, like, because they stuck in the line as a religion. They didn't excel like the gods did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'll be running into people, they be talking about Master Farrar like he's some spook or something. Like, I'll be weak, like, oh.
Yeah, but you know what else I noticed, Lord? They don't quote 120.